Hey there, you beautiful souls tuning in today. Pause for just a second and imagine this. A small-town girl, armed with nothing but a worn-out recipe card and a heart full of dreams, steps into a cooking contest that's about to change her life in ways she never saw coming. What if I told you she didn't just whip up a dish that left the judges speechless, but she also cooked up something far more unexpected? A love story that stole the show. In the next few minutes, you're going to unravel the mystery of how one single moment in a bustling county fair kitchen turned into a whirlwind of romance, rivalry, and revelations that no one, not even her, could have predicted. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how she won something way bigger than a trophy. And trust me, you don't want to miss the answer to that burning question tugging at your heart right now. So grab a cozy drink, settle in, and let's dive into this delicious tale of food, love, and a contest that flipped her world upside down. Because this is the story you didn't know you needed today, and I'm so excited to share it with you. You're probably wondering why this story feels like it's speaking directly to you, and that's because I know what it's like to chase a dream, to feel that spark of hope when you're standing at the edge of something big, not knowing if you'll soar or stumble. We've all had those moments where we put our hearts on the line, whether it's in a kitchen, a classroom, or even a first date that feels like it could change everything. That's why I'm telling you about Emily, a 27-year-old from Willow Creek, Tennessee, who's just like you and me. Someone with big dreams but a life that hasn't always handed her the recipe for success. Emily grew up in a town where everybody knows your name, where the annual county fair is the biggest event of the year, and where her late grandma's peach cobbler recipe was the stuff of local legend. She's not a professional chef, not some TikTok foodie star with 1 million followers. She's real, relatable, and maybe a little nervous as she signs up for the Willow Creek Cook-Off, a contest that's been the talk of the town for decades. But here's the thing. Emily's not just cooking to win a $5,000 prize or to prove she's got what it takes. She's cooking to honor her grandma's memory, to feel close to the woman who taught her everything she knows about love, resilience, and the magic of a home-cooked meal. And you, my friend, are going to feel every ounce of her passion, her nerves, and her unexpected journey as we peel back the layers of this story together. I promise, you're not just watching a video, you're stepping into Emily's world, and it's going to hit you right in the feels. Now, let's set the scene, because I want you to picture this as vividly as if you're standing in that fairground with Emily. It's a warm July evening in Willow Creek, the kind where the air smells like cotton candy and fried dough, and the sunset paints the sky in shades of pink and gold. The county fair is in full swing. Kids are screaming on the Ferris wheel, country music is blaring from the main stage, and the cooking contest tent is buzzing with excitement. There's a crowd gathered, locals and out-of-towners alike, all waiting to see who's going to take home the coveted blue ribbon this year. Emily's there, her apron tied a little too tight, her hands trembling as she sets up her station next to some serious competition. Think seasoned home cooks, a few wannabe Food Network stars, and one guy, Jake, who's got everyone whispering. Jake's the golden boy of Willow Creek, a charming 30-year-old with a smile that could melt butter and a reputation for making the best barbecue ribs in 3 counties. He's not just a cook. He's the kind of guy who walks into a room and owns it, and Emily can't help but notice him as she fumbles with her mixing bowl. But here's where it gets juicy. Emily's not just up against Jake in the contest. There's a spark between them, a fleeting glance across the tent that feels like it could ignite something dangerous. And you're probably thinking, okay, is this a cooking contest or a love story? Well, my friend, that's the mystery we're unraveling together, and I need you to stick with me to find out how a pinch of courage and a dash of chemistry turned this contest into something way bigger than a prize. I know what you're feeling right now, that little tug of curiosity, that urge to know what happens next. And I get it, because I felt the same way when I first heard Emily's story. It's the kind of tale that makes you lean in, that makes you forget the world for a while because you're so invested in what's unfolding. That's why I'm talking directly to you, because I want you to feel like we're sitting across from each other, sharing this story over a cup of coffee or a slice of that peach cobbler Emily's about to make. You're not just a viewer, you're part of this journey, and I'm counting on you to see it through to the end. Why? Because this isn't just about a cooking contest or even a love story. It's about what happens when you take a chance on yourself, when you step into the unknown and discover something you didn't even know you were looking for. Emily's story is going to make you laugh, maybe tear up a little, and definitely keep you guessing, because there's a twist coming that's going to flip everything you think you know. And I'm not going to spoil it here, but I will tell you this. By the time this video ends, you're going to have the answer to the question that brought you here today. What did Emily really win that day at the fair? And trust me, it's going to be worth every second of your time. Let's talk about the stakes for a moment, because I want you to feel the weight of what Emily's up against. The Willow Creek Cook-Off isn't just a friendly bake-off. It's a battle of pride, tradition, and dreams. For Emily, winning means more than money. It's a chance to prove to herself, and to her small town, that she's more than the girl who's been stuck in a dead-end job at the local diner. More than the girl who's been grieving her grandma's loss for the past 2 years. She's poured her heart into perfecting that peach cobbler recipe, tweaking it late into the night, tasting memories of her grandma's kitchen with every bite. But the competition is fierce, and Jake isn't the only one she's got to watch out for. There's also Sarah, a sharp-tongued busybody who's won the contest 3 years running and isn't about to let some newcomer steal her crown. Sarah's got a knack for throwing shade and a recipe for lemon bars that's practically unbeatable. Then there's the pressure of the judges, local foodies and one big-shot critic from Nashville who's rumored to be scouting for the next big culinary talent. Emily's feeling the heat, and not just from the oven. And yet, amidst all this chaos, there's Jake, who keeps catching her eye, offering a smile that makes her forget her nerves for a split second. You're probably wondering, is he a friend, a foe, or something else entirely? And that, my friend, is exactly why you need to keep watching, because the answer is going to unravel in ways that'll leave you hungry for more. I want to take a moment to connect with you on a deeper level, because I know you're not just here for a story. You're here because something about this resonated with you. Maybe you felt like Emily, standing at a crossroads, wondering if you've got what it takes to chase your dreams. Maybe you've tasted the bittersweet mix of hope and fear that comes with putting yourself out there. Or maybe you just love a good romance, the kind that sneaks up on you and makes your heart race. Whatever brought you here, I'm so glad you're with me, because this story is for you. It's for the dreamers, the underdogs, the romantics, and everyone who's ever believed in the magic of a second chance. Emily's journey is going to remind you that life's biggest wins don't always come with a trophy. They come when you least expect them, in moments that feel like fate. And I'm not going to lie, there's a part of this story that's going to hit you like a plot twist in your favorite rom-com. And I can't wait for you to experience it. So please, don't click away. Stay with me, because we're about to turn up the heat, and I promise you're going to love where this is going. Now let's zoom in on that cooking tent, because the clock's ticking, and the contest is about to begin. Emily's station is a flurry of flour and nerves as she starts prepping her ingredients. Her grandma's recipe card propped up like a talisman. Across the tent, Jake's tossing spices into his smoker with the confidence of a man who's done this 100 times, but every now and then, his eyes flicker toward Emily, and you can tell he's noticing her in a way that's more than just competition. The crowd's buzzing, the judges are circling, and Sarah's throwing side-eye like it's an Olympic sport. The air is thick with tension, the kind that makes your heart pound because you know something big is about to happen. Emily's trying to focus, but her mind's racing. Can she pull this off? Will her cobbler live up to her grandma's legacy? And why does Jake keep looking at her like he sees something no one else does? As the timer starts and the contestants dive into their dishes, a single moment changes everything. A fleeting interaction between Emily and Jake that's so charged, it's like the whole tent fades away. What did he say to her? What did she do? And how did that 1 second set off a chain of events that turned this cooking contest into a love story for the ages? You're dying to know, aren't you? Well, my friend, you're going to have to keep watching, because the answer's coming, and it's going to leave you speechless. Right there in the heart of the Willow Creek cook-off, with the timer ticking and the scent of sizzling butter filling the air, Emily's world feels like it's teetering on the edge of something monumental, and you're right there with her, aren't you? That moment with Jake. His low teasing whisper as he leaned just a little too close to her station, saying something about her peaches looking almost as sweet as her smile, has left her flustered, her cheeks burning brighter than the oven behind her. She tries to shake it off, focusing on rolling out her cobbler dough, but her mind's spinning faster than the Ferris wheel outside. Was he flirting, or was that just his charm offensive, a way to throw her off her game? You're probably wondering the same thing, and I get it, because Jake's got that kind of easy charisma that makes you question everything. But let's pull back the curtain a bit and dive deeper into Emily's world, because this isn't just about a flirty moment or a cooking contest. It's about a girl who's been carrying a weight bigger than a sack of flour, and a town full of secrets that's about to stir up more than just batter. As we peel back the layers of this story, you're going to meet the people who shape Emily's life, uncover the stakes that make this contest her breaking point, and feel the tension of a mystery that's only just beginning to simmer. So, stay with me, my friend, because this tale of love, rivalry, and unexpected twists is about to get even juicier, and I promise you're not going to want to miss a single second. Emily's story starts long before she stepped into that cooking tent, back in a time when Willow Creek felt like the safest place in the world, where her grandma's kitchen was her sanctuary. Growing up, Emily spent every Sunday afternoon at her grandma Ruth's house, perched on a stool by the counter, watching as Ruth turned simple ingredients into magic. Peach cobbler that could make neighbors forget their feuds, cornbread that paired perfectly with stories of her youth. Ruth wasn't just a cook, she was a storyteller, a dreamer, and the heartbeat of Emily's world. When Ruth passed away 2 years ago, it was like someone turned off the lights in Emily's life. The grief was heavy, but so was the guilt. Emily had been working double shifts at the diner, trying to save up for culinary school, and she hadn't been there as much as she wanted in Ruth's final days. That's why this contest means so much to her. It's not just about the $5,000 prize, though that could finally get her to a cooking class in Nashville. It's about proving to herself that she can carry on Ruth's legacy, that she can make something of her life beyond pouring coffee and dodging rude customers at the diner. But here's where it gets complicated. Emily's not the only one with something to prove. Her mom, Linda, is in the crowd today, watching with a mix of pride and worry. Linda's never been one for big dreams. She's a practical woman, hardened by years of raising Emily alone after her dad left when she was 5. Linda thinks the contest is a nice distraction but warns Emily not to get her hopes up, and that tension between them is a quiet storm brewing in the background. You can feel it, can't you? That push and pull between chasing your heart and playing it safe. It's the kind of thing that makes you root for Emily even harder, because you know she's fighting for more than just a ribbon. Now let's talk about Jake, because he's not just a handsome face with a knack for barbecue. Jake Harper grew up in Willow Creek too. But his story's a little different. He's the son of a local hardware store owner, a guy who was expected to take over the family business but chose a different path. Jake's been traveling the state, entering cooking contests, building a name for himself as a pitmaster with dreams of opening his own food truck. He's got that laid-back charm that makes everyone love him, but there's a restlessness in him, a hunger for something more than small-town life. The locals adore him. Think of him as the guy who's always got a story to tell at the bar, the one who remembers your name and makes you feel like you matter. But there's a rumor floating around the fairgrounds, one you might have caught if you were eavesdropping by the lemonade stand. Jake's got a past, something he left behind when he started chasing his culinary dreams. Nobody's sure what it is. Maybe a broken heart, maybe a falling out with his family. But it's enough to make people whisper when he walks by. And when he looks at Emily, there's something in his eyes that's more than just competition or flirtation. It's like he sees a kindred spirit, someone who's chasing a dream against the odds, just like him. You're probably wondering what's really going on in Jake's head, and I'll let you in on a little hint. He's not as confident as he seems, and that moment with Emily wasn't just a playful jab. It was a spark, and it's about to ignite a subplot that's going to keep you glued to this story. But wait. There's another layer to this tale, because no small town is complete without its share of drama, and Willow Creek is no exception. Enter Sarah, the reigning queen of the cook-off, whose lemon bars are as sharp as her tongue. Sarah's not just a competitor, she's a force of nature, a 40-something divorcee who's made the contest her personal kingdom. She's got a loyal following in town, a group of women who call themselves the Lemon Ladies, and cheer her on like she's a rock star. But Sarah's got her own struggles. She's been pouring everything into these contests to fill the void left by her ex-husband, who left her for a younger woman 3 years ago. Winning isn't just about pride for Sarah. It's about proving she's still got it, that she's not invisible in a town that sometimes overlooks her. When she sees Emily, young and nervous but with a fire in her eyes, Sarah feels a pang of something she won't admit. Jealousy, maybe, or fear that her reign is slipping. And when she notices Jake's attention drifting toward Emily, it's like pouring lemon juice on a wound. Sarah's not above playing dirty. She's been known to accidentally bump a competitor's table or spread a rumor to rattle someone's nerves. You can sense the tension building, can't you? It's not just Emily versus Sarah or Emily versus Jake. It's a web of rivalries, insecurities, and hidden motives that's turning this cooking tent into a pressure cooker. And somewhere in that crowd, there's a stranger watching it all, a man in a crisp blazer who's not from Willow Creek, scribbling notes and eyeing Emily's station with a curiosity that feels different. Who is he? A scout? A critic? Or something else entirely? That's another mystery we're going to unravel, and trust me, it's going to add a whole new flavor to this story. Let's zoom out for a second and talk about Willow Creek itself, because this town is practically a character in its own right. It's the kind of place where time moves a little slower, where the diner's always packed on Sunday mornings and the county fair is the highlight of the summer. But beneath the surface, there's a current of change stirring. The younger folks, like Emily and Jake, are starting to dream beyond the town limits, chasing careers in Nashville or Memphis, while the older generation clings to tradition. The cook-off is more than a contest. It's a snapshot of that tension, a stage where old meets new, where dreams collide with reality. Emily feels it every time she walks past the fairgrounds, where her grandma used to sell jars of homemade jam, where she used to dream of being somebody. Jake feels it too, in the way his dad looks at him, disappointed that he's not behind the counter at Harper's Hardware. Even Sarah feels it, in the way the town's starting to buzz about new faces, new talent. And that stranger in the crowd? He's part of it too, a hint that the outside world is creeping in, bringing opportunities, and maybe complications, that Willow Creek isn't ready for. You're probably starting to see the bigger picture now, how this story's about more than just a girl and a guy and a peach cobbler. It's about a town at a crossroads, about people fighting for their place in a world that's changing faster than they can keep up with. And you're right in the middle of it, my friend, feeling every beat of that tension, every hint of what's to come. As the contest heats up, Emily's trying to keep her focus, but it's not easy. Her dough's not cooperating, her nerves are fraying, and Jake's station is so close she can smell the smoky tang of his ribs, which is distracting in more ways than one. She catches another glance from him, and this time, he winks, actually winks, and it's enough to make her drop her rolling pin. The crowd chuckles, and Emily wants to crawl under the table, but there's something about Jake's laugh, warm and genuine, that pulls her back. Meanwhile, Sarah's watching the whole exchange, her lips pursed like she's sucking on one of her own lemons. She leans over to her friend in the crowd, whispering something that makes the woman gasp, and suddenly, the rumor mill's churning again. Did Sarah just start a story about Emily? Or was it about Jake? And why does it feel like the stakes are getting higher with every passing minute? Emily's starting to wonder if she's in over her head, not just in the contest but in this unexpected dance with Jake, this clash with Sarah, this scrutiny from a stranger who's now talking to the judges. The timer's down to the final hour, and the tent is a whirlwind of chaos and anticipation. Emily's cobbler is in the oven, Jake's ribs are sizzling, Sarah's lemon bars are cooling, and the crowd's buzzing with bets on who's going to win. But just as Emily thinks she's got a handle on things, something happens. A small, seemingly insignificant moment that shifts everything. A note, slipped onto her station when no one's looking, with just a few words scrawled in unfamiliar handwriting. You don't belong here. Who left it? Why? And what does it mean for Emily's chances? Not just in the contest, but in the bigger game that's unfolding around her. You're dying to know, aren't you? Well, my friend, you're going to have to keep watching, because this story's about to take a turn you won't see coming, and it's going to leave you hungry for answers. The air in the Willow Creek cook-off tent is thick with the scent of caramelized sugar and smoked meat, but for Emily, it's the weight of that mysterious note, you don't belong here, that's making it hard to breathe. Her hands tremble as she pulls her peach cobbler from the oven. It's golden crust perfect but her heart racing with questions. Who slipped that note onto her station? Was it Sarah, trying to psych her out with her usual mind games? Or could it be someone else? Someone who knows more about Emily's past than she's let on? You're probably feeling that same knot in your stomach, that mix of curiosity and dread that's keeping you locked into this story, and I'm right there with you, my friend. As the final minutes of the contest tick down, the tension in the tent is palpable. Jake's ribs are glistening under the lights, Sarah's lemon bars are arranged like a work of art, and Emily's cobbler is her last shot at proving she's more than just a diner waitress with big dreams. But just when you think you've got a handle on this cooking contest turned love story, something happens that flips the script entirely. A twist so unexpected it's going to leave you gasping. Stick with me, because the stakes are about to skyrocket, secrets are bubbling to the surface, and this small-town fair is turning into a stage for drama, romance, and a mystery that's bigger than anyone imagined. You're not just watching a video, you're living this story with Emily, and I promise, you're going to want to see where this wild ride takes us next. Let's rewind just a moment to understand how we got here, because Emily's not just fighting for a blue ribbon. She's battling a storm of doubts that's been brewing since she found that note. She's trying to focus, plating her cobbler with a scoop of vanilla ice cream that's melting just right, but her eyes keep darting to the crowd. There's her mom, Linda, standing with her arms crossed, her expression a mix of hope and skepticism, as if she's waiting for Emily to crash and burn. There's Jake, wiping his hands on his apron, stealing glances at Emily that feel like they're laced with something deeper than competition. And there's Sarah, smirking as she polishes her serving tray, her confidence unshaken even as the crowd buzzes with whispers about Emily's dish. But it's the stranger in the blazer, the one who's been watching Emily all day, that's got her nerves on edge. He's not just scribbling notes now, he's talking to the head judge, a local restaurateur named Clara, and their conversation looks intense. Emily's starting to wonder if he's the one who left the note. But why? She's never seen him before, And Willow Creek isn't exactly a hotbed for strangers with agendas. You can feel the pressure building, can't you? It's like the whole tent is holding its breath, waiting for something to break. And then it does. A scream cuts through the noise, sharp and panicked, coming from the back of the tent where the contestant supplies are stored. The crowd gasps, the judges freeze, and Emily's heart leaps into her throat as she realizes this isn't just a cooking contest anymore. Something's gone terribly wrong, and it's about to change everything. As the contestants and crowd turn toward the commotion, Emily catches Jake's eye, and for a split second, they're not competitors, they're just two people caught in the same whirlwind. He mouths, "You okay?" And she nods, but she's not okay, not with that note burning a hole in her pocket and now this chaos unfolding. The scream came from one of the volunteers, a teenage girl named Mia, who's stumbling out of the supply area, her face pale as she babbles about finding something awful. The head judge, Clara, rushes over, and soon a small crowd is forming, blocking Emily's view. Whispers ripple through the tent, something about a sabotaged ingredient, a bottle of spoiled cream found among Sarah's supplies, and now fingers are pointing. Sarah's face goes from smug to furious in an instant, her voice rising as she denies touching anything that wasn't hers. "This is a setup," she snaps, her eyes locking onto Emily like she's the prime suspect. The crowd's eating it up, phones out, recording every second of the drama for TikTok and Instagram, because nothing goes viral like a small-town scandal. Emily's frozen, her mind racing. Could the note and this sabotage be connected? Did someone target Sarah to throw the contest, or is this about something bigger? And why does she feel like the stranger in the blazer, now whispering to Clara, knows more than he's letting on? You're probably itching to know what's really going on, and I don't blame you, because this twist is turning the cook-off into a puzzle where every piece seems to point back to Emily, Jake, and a past neither of them has fully shared. Let's dive into Jake's side of the story, because he's not just a charming pitmaster with a knack for ribs. He's got his own ghosts haunting this fairground. Jake's been the golden boy of Willow Creek for years, but what most people don't know is that he left town 5 years ago after a falling out with his dad, who wanted him to take over the family hardware store. Jake had other plans. Cooking was his escape, his way of carving out a life that felt like his own. He's been traveling, entering contests, saving up for that food truck dream, but coming back to Willow Creek for the cook-off is more than just a homecoming. It's a chance to face his dad, who's in the crowd today, watching with a stony expression that says he still hasn't forgiven Jake for choosing a hobby over family duty. Jake's ribs are his ticket to proving he's made something of himself, but when he looks at Emily, he sees a reflection of his own hunger, that fire to break free from expectations. That's why he can't stop glancing at her, why he risked that flirty comment earlier. It wasn't just to mess with her head. It was because he feels a connection, something real and raw that's catching him off guard. But now, with this sabotage scandal exploding, Jake's starting to wonder if he's walked into a trap. The spoiled cream was found near his station too, and he's got enemies in town. Old rivals, maybe even someone tied to that mysterious past he's kept buried. You're probably wondering what Jake's hiding, and I'll give you a hint. It's tied to a name, someone he left behind when he left Willow Creek, and it's about to come crashing back into his life in a way that could derail everything. Meanwhile, Sarah's not taking this lying down, and her subplot is adding fuel to the fire. She's storming around the tent, demanding answers, accusing everyone from the volunteers to Emily herself of trying to ruin her. But beneath her fury, there's a crack in her armor. Sarah's been struggling since her divorce, pouring her heart into these contests to feel like she's still got a purpose. Losing her crown would be more than a blow to her ego. It would be a reminder of everything she's lost. That's why she's so quick to point fingers at Emily, the newcomer who's stealing the spotlight and worse, Jake's attention. But here's where it gets interesting. Sarah's not as innocent as she claims. Earlier, Emily overheard her talking to one of the lemon ladies about taking care of things. And now that phrase is echoing in Emily's mind. Did Sarah sabotage her own supplies to frame someone else? Or is she a victim too? And what about that stranger in the blazer, who's now taking photos of the scene like he's documenting evidence? Emily's starting to piece things together, but the more she learns, the more dangerous it feels. The note, the sabotage, the stranger, it's all connected, and she's right in the middle of it, her dreams of honoring her grandma's legacy hanging by a thread. You can feel the stakes climbing, can't you? It's like the whole town's holding its breath, waiting for the truth to spill out. Just as the judges call for order, trying to salvage the contest, the unexpected twist hits like a lightning bolt. Clara, the head judge, steps forward, her face grim, and announces that the contest is on hold, not just because of the sabotage, but because something else has been found in the supply area. A locket, old and tarnished, tucked inside a bag of flour near Emily's station. The crowd murmurs, and Emily's heart stops as Clara holds it up, because she recognizes it instantly. It's her Grandma Ruth's locket, the one she thought was lost forever, the one Ruth wore every day of her life. How did it get here? Emily hasn't seen it since Ruth's funeral, and now it's here, in the middle of this chaos, like a message from beyond the grave. The stranger in the blazer is watching her now, his expression unreadable, and Jake's looking at her too, his brow furrowed like he knows something she doesn't. Sarah's voice cuts through the noise, sharp and accusing. What's that doing here, Emily? You trying to pull some kind of stunt? The crowd's eyes are on her, and Emily feels like she's drowning, her mind racing with questions. Did someone plant the locket to frame her? Is it tied to the note, the sabotage, the stranger? And why does it feel like her grandma's memory, the one thing she's been fighting for, is now at the heart of this mystery? You're on the edge of your seat, aren't you? Because this isn't just a cooking contest anymore. It's a web of secrets, betrayals, and a past that's coming back to haunt Emily in ways she never imagined. Keep watching, my friend, because the truth is closer than you think, and it's going to blow your mind. The Willow Creek cook-off tent is frozen in a moment of stunned silence, the air heavy with the weight of that tarnished locket dangling from Clara's hand, its familiar heart-shaped pendant catching the light and sending Emily's world into a tailspin. Her Grandma Ruth's locket, lost for 2 years, now inexplicably here, in the middle of a sabotaged contest, a mysterious note, and a stranger's piercing gaze. Feels like a puzzle piece that could either save her or unravel everything. You're right there with her, aren't you, your heart pounding as you try to make sense of this whirlwind of drama, romance and secrets? Emily's eyes dart from the locket to Jake, who's watching her with a mix of concern and something deeper, then to Sarah, whose accusatory glare could curdle cream, and finally to the stranger in the blazer, whose calm demeanor feels like the eye of this storm. The crowd's buzzing, phones out, capturing every second of this small-town scandal that's gone viral in real time, and you can feel the climax building, the moment where all these threads, love, rivalry, legacy, collide in a way that's going to leave you speechless. As we dive into the heart of this story, my friend, I promise you're about to get the answers you've been craving, but hold on tight, because there's one final twist that's going to turn this tale of a cooking contest into a love story for the ages. Stay with me, because this is the moment you came for, and it's going to hit you right in the feels. Emily's mind is racing as Clara calls for calm, announcing that the judges need to investigate the locket and the sabotage before declaring a winner. The crowd groans, but Emily barely hears them. She's staring at the locket, memories of her grandma flooding back. Ruth's warm laugh, her stories of young love, the way she'd clutched that locket when she spoke of her late husband. Emily always thought it was just a keepsake, but now it's here, tied to this chaos, and she's starting to wonder if there's more to Ruth's story than she ever knew. She catches Jake's eye, and he steps closer, his voice low. That's yours, isn't it? He asks, and there's a tenderness there that makes her want to spill everything. Her grief, her dreams, the note still burning a hole in her pocket. But before she can answer, Sarah storms over, her voice sharp. This is ridiculous. First the cream, now this? She's playing us all. The accusation stings, but Emily's had enough. She pulls the note from her pocket and holds it up, her voice shaking but firm. Someone left this on my station, telling me I don't belong here. If anyone's playing games, it's not me. The crowd gasps, and Sarah's face falters, just for a second, before she doubles down, insisting she had nothing to do with it. But the stranger in the blazer steps forward, his voice cutting through the noise like a knife. I think it's time we clear this up, he says, and the way he looks at Emily, like he's been waiting for this moment, sends a chill down her spine. You're probably dying to know who he is, and I'm about to tell you, because this is where the puzzle starts to come together, and it's going to blow your mind. The stranger introduces himself as Daniel Carter, a food writer from Nashville, but that's only half the truth. He pulls a faded photograph from his wallet, and Emily's breath catches. It's her Grandma Ruth, young and radiant, standing next to a man who looks strikingly like Daniel. Ruth was my aunt, he says, his voice soft but steady. She left Willow Creek before I was born, but she sent me letters, recipes, stories, and that locket. The crowd is silent now, hanging on every word, and Emily feels like the ground shifting beneath her. Daniel explains that Ruth had a secret, a love she left behind in Willow Creek, a man named Thomas, who gave her the locket before she moved away to start a new life. Ruth never told Emily the full story, maybe to protect her, but Daniel's been researching his family's history, tracking down Ruth's legacy. He came to the cook-off after hearing about Emily's entry, hoping to find a connection to his aunt, and when he saw the peach cobbler recipe, a near-exact match to Ruth's, he knew he'd found her granddaughter. But here's where it gets wild. The locket wasn't planted by Sarah or a saboteur. It was Daniel's, accidentally dropped when he was inspecting the supply area, trying to get a closer look at Emily's ingredients. The note, though? That's a different story, and as Daniel turns to Sarah, her face pales. "I saw you slip it onto her station," he says, and the crowd erupts in murmurs. Sarah stammers, caught off guard, but the truth spills out. She wrote the note in a moment of desperation, hoping to rattle Emily and secure her own win. You can feel the weight of that revelation, can't you? It's not just about the contest anymore. It's about family, forgiveness, and a legacy that's bigger than any prize. With the sabotage and the note explained, the judges decide to resume the contest, but the mood has shifted. Emily's cobbler, Jake's ribs, and Sarah's lemon bars are presented, and as the judges deliberate, Emily and Jake find a quiet moment by the tent's edge. He takes her hand, his voice earnest. "I don't care who wins, Emily. Meeting you today. That's what matters." And there it is, the spark that's been building all day, igniting into something real. Emily's heart races, but she's not just thinking about Jake. She's thinking about Ruth, about the locket, about the courage it took for her grandma to chase her own dreams. When the judges call everyone back, Clara announces the winner. Emily's peach cobbler, a dish that captures the heart of Willow Creek. The crowd cheers, and Emily's mom, Linda, rushes forward, tears in her eyes, finally letting go of her doubts to embrace her daughter's triumph. Sarah, humbled, offers a quiet apology, and Emily accepts it, knowing they're both fighting their own battles. Jake pulls Emily into a hug, whispering, "Told you you belonged here," and the crowd's still buzzing, posting about the cook-off love story that's already trending on X. You're probably smiling right now, feeling that warm glow of a story coming together, but hold on, because there's one final twist that's going to leave you in awe. As the fair winds down, Daniel pulls Emily aside, handing her the locket and a letter he found among Ruth's things. A letter Ruth wrote to Thomas, never sent, confessing she never stopped loving him. Inside the locket, Emily finds a tiny inscription. "Forever, RNT." But here's the kicker. Daniel reveals that Thomas was Jake's grandfather, who passed away years ago, leaving behind stories of a lost love named Ruth. Jake standing nearby, overhearing, and his eyes widen as he realizes the connection. His grandfather's stories, the ones that inspired him to cook, were about Emily's grandma. The locket, the contest, the spark between them. It's like fate wove their stories together across generations. Emily and Jake share a look, the kind that says they're standing at the start of something new, something that honors their past while promising a future. You're probably reeling, right? Because this isn't just a love story, it's a legacy, a reminder that the things we create, the love we share, can ripple through time in ways we never imagine. As Emily clutches the locket, her heart full, she knows she didn't just win a contest or a guy's heart. She won a piece of herself back, a connection to Ruth that's stronger than ever. And you, my friend, you've been with her every step of this journey, feeling every twist, every tear, every triumph. So, what's the takeaway as we close this chapter of Willow Creek? It's that life's biggest wins don't always come with a trophy. They come in the moments that surprise you, the connections that heal you, the courage to chase what sets your soul on fire. Emily's story is proof that a single day, a single choice, can change everything, whether it's stepping into a cooking contest or opening your heart to love. And that final twist? It's a reminder that the past is never really gone. It lives in us, in the recipes we share, the stories we tell, the love we pass down. As you leave this video, I hope you're inspired to chase